This looks like shit. It's not that bad. Okay, just getting all my paints ready. This is what my palette looks like. Not like mold at all. Oh dear God, this is a disaster. Basically, I need some moral support while I try to paint this larger canvas. This isn't even a big canvas. 1 second. Okay, so, what the fuck? Whatever. Basically, I'm just doing this thing because I have a lot of stuff I want to talk about because it's all really weird stuff. I'm very into aliens right now and have been for a very long time. If you need to know, I'm 27 and I've basically been into aliens and this kind of stuff since I was like forever. I just figured that I would like share some stories that I have about UFOs. I'm just taping up this canvas so that I can have a border on it because if I don't have a border on something, I can't handle it. That's that. This is not a tutorial because I don't know what I'm doing. I am not trained in painting. I'm a regular person who just wants to paint and talk about paranormal shit because why not? So I'm from the middle of nowhere. I'm from a little place in upstate New York, not the part that's the city. It's actually not all city at all. Gotta get it all sleek. I'm just basing the painting, even though this is acrylic and it'll dry fast. I'm just putting white on it because that's what Bob Ross does. In my experiences living upstate, there's just some stuff that like I saw that kind of freaked me out in a paranormal sense. And to be honest, some of these things like I feel like I shouldn't even be like talking about. And I'll get to like why it feels weird to talk about and why I shouldn't be. And there's definitely people out there that have had more paranormal weird experiences than I've ever had. And I would love to hear it. Love to hear about anyone's paranormal experience in terms of ghosts, in terms of UFOs, in terms of like just phenomenon, like synchronicities that happen in people's lives are so fascinating. Like when things just randomly line up for you in the universe and just any sort of phenomenon really is so exciting to me. And it all just started when I was like a kid because I got like an Unexplained Mysteries DVD and it had like human combustion and vampires on it. And I was just like obsessed with myths and things that you don't understand or you can't understand. I just kind of got to thinking about how I have all these like experiences. I don't even have all these experiences, but it's just like sometimes you think about stuff that has happened to you and you just don't talk about it for a long time because you're worried that people will think you're crazy or that you're weird, and so you don't ever say it. I mean, I guess I'm just kind of over not talking about things that interest me, and like I really just want to talk about aliens. Like UFO phenomenon has been coming up so much in my life recently, just like in terms of like the CIA documents being released, like the whole like Tic Tac thing, you know, just what with UFOs being more in the social psyche, it just kind of felt natural for me to start kind of talking about it more. And I just like I have a couple UFO stories. I've seen UFOs. And saying that is kind of scary because you never know how anyone is going to take that. And like, it's not something I broadcast. Like, I don't enter every conversation like, yeah, I've seen aliens before. And you know, the debate always rises up of, well, you really think they exist? Like, oh, could there be life on other planets? Could there be life out there in the universe? Duh, of course they exist. I don't know why this is even a question right now. Like, obviously, like, it just seems so obvious in my head. Of course other life on planets exist, duh. But it's like, it's more informed than that. Like, even right now, I feel like it's kind of weird talking about it because it's like, oh, do I really care what other people think of me? I don't have my smock on. I should put my smock on. My mom gave this to me. Carrying on, I don't know if I like this green color. Basically, I have known or felt in my heart of hearts since I was a child that aliens are real, that UFOs exist, and that it's not exactly something to be afraid of. I feel like they get a really bad rap because people don't know what their intentions are, and you're not going to know what their intentions are because they're a higher being. Anyway, when I was a kid, I feel like it was like around 10 or something. My family was having some sort of party, I think. Like there was like a lot of people there, and it was at night, whatever, we had a fire going. My childhood home, where my parents still live, is on a lake, on a mountain, trees everywhere, barely any neighbors at the time. And I remember we were all together, and I like looked up over the lake, and I just saw this light go across, go back, and then go across, like just across the sky, just like zigzagging, like across the sky. And like I remember looking over at my dad and being like, he was looking at the sky too, and I was like, did you see that? And he was like, yeah, I saw that. We both saw something flying over the lake that night. There was a bunch of people there. I don't know if anyone else saw it, but I remember we saw it and talked about it. And now I'm like, oh, I wonder if I was just being a kid. Like, you can kind of talk yourself out of it, you know? And then later when I was in high school, I was taking a videography class, and I had this camera that I would like go around my school like shooting funny videos and stuff like that. And I remember one night I was up really late because I had gotten home from gymnastics, and I was like, I had terrible insomnia, and like this time in my life I had terrible insomnia. And I remember, sorry, it's kind of hard to talk about. I feel like I'm psychotic. Usually when you hear of UFO encounters, people see the craft really close. And so I've had a hard time with my experience because it wasn't close any of the times. It was kind of something I would see very far away. And I would see it multiple times. It didn't happen just once. It happened multiple times. It was winter. I was just having a really hard time sleeping. And I would have to wake up so early for school, and I was going to bed really late because I had gymnastics practice. So what I remember is I saw something spinning in the sky. And when I saw it, I was like, what the fuck is that? It was just in the sky, in place, just spinning. It was like really confusing because I would see it come out, and then it would go back, and then it would come out. And I remember being like, oh, I have my video camera from class. I can just film it. And now this is kind of the part that kind of pisses me off a little bit, because I got the camera out and I zoomed in on it, and I could see it spinning. I could see a light at the top, and I could see the bottom spinning. I used to watch a lot of Bob Ross, and I used to really be able to like turn out a landscape like really nicely. Then I stopped doing them for a long time, and now I'm like, why did I ever stop? This was so fun. And now I'm like doing it, and it's not that good. So this is the craziest part of the whole thing, which is why I'm stalling so much. because I just almost can't bring myself to say it out loud, like what I'm thinking and feeling about it. Okay, so when I brought up my camera to film it and I saw it in there spinning, I could have recorded it, but I didn't. And I didn't because there was like this weird thought that came into my head. I don't want to say I heard a voice because I didn't hear like a specific voice, but there was a thought in my head that was like, they can see you, and they know you're filming, and you shouldn't record. They can see you, they know you're filming, and you shouldn't record. And so I put down the camera. I went to bed. I put the covers over my head and I tried to forget about it. But I would get up and I would go over to the window. I would keep getting up and I would still see it going back and forth across the sky over the lake. And it just really freaked me out. It's so hard to talk about UFO and paranormal experience because of all of the stigma that's behind it. Like, these things interest me so much, but I haven't talked about them because it's like, oh, you're gonna think I'm crazy. Oh, great. Can't wait to have the conversation with you where you look at me like I'm a psycho, because I have literally seen aliens. I thought I was crazy. I told my dad about it when I had seen it a couple times. And it's so weird to talk about, like, oh yeah, I saw it a couple times. My camera's gonna die, so I better finish the story. Basically, my dad went to the physics teacher in my high school and told him what was happening. And the physics teacher tried to tell me that it was a satellite. And I was like, bro, it's like moving. And he's like, it could be a planet reflecting its light through all the layers of atmosphere, and that's why it's sparkling like that. I'm like, dude, satellites do not go like this. Satellites go like this. Duh. So like that pissed me off. And like that's when I realized I wasn't seeing something that was like easily explainable. That's just it. And like some people are uncomfortable knowing that, and some people feel better knowing that. I honestly I feel way better knowing that we're not alone, like that there's something else out there, and that there's something interesting and cool that we don't understand or that we don't know everything about, and that can help us further our consciousness and further our reality. And that's just like such a cool thing. But like at the time I was scared shitless, and I questioned my reality for a long time. I questioned what I was seeing. I still kind of am questioning what I'm seeing, but I've come to terms with the fact that, yeah, that was real. I witnessed a UFO, and it's about time that people start normalizing that and stop thinking that it's something so crazy and out of the ordinary, because I'm pretty sure that if I had an experience like that, there's got to be a lot of other people out there that have had an experience like that. So if you've experienced UFOs, hit me up, because I would love to hear about it. Okay, it's the next day and my camera died. Okay, where can I put you? So I kept painting because I was feeling really bad about myself, and I was like, this is really, really shitty. And I don't know if I want to finish it, and I don't know if I want to redo it, but I've done some thinking, and it is what it is. So here's my final painting. Yeah. It's a muddy mess, but I'm glad to have gone back into it. And yeah, let's peel off the tape from the edges, because it'll look way, way better. This is probably gonna peel off like the whole thing. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. Oh, I'm gonna lose this tree. Oh, I'm so dumb. Okay. There it is. Okay, see now I love it. I guess this is to like a reminder to believe in yourself. And if you've seen aliens, maybe you actually saw aliens. And I know I have, so you can't change my mind. I'm sorry, I'm just so happy with how it turned out, actually. And look at the little flowers on the bottom. Oh, it came out really cute. Ooh. I was hating it. I was hating it so much. But you know, aliens always come through for me. Just pop a happy little alien in there and you'll have a fun little painting. That's cool. I'm probably going to be talking more about aliens and the paranormal and doing more paintings like this. If you want to join me in my need to talk, in my quest to just chat about fun paranormal phenomenon that interests me, if you would like to join me, if you would like to give me ideas, because I'm not a machine and sometimes my brain can barely function. So yeah, this has been fun. This is so fun. Bye.